Hello and welcome to my April wrap-up and March and February. The books I read in February, most of them got under 3 stars, so there didn't seem much point in doing a wrap-up. I thought things would get better in March. In March I hit a bit of a reading slump and I think I read maybe 2 or 3 books and one of them was a slog. So I didn't do a wrap-up for then either because I thought, well, with February and March combined it would be a bit of a, a negative video. But April was the month that pulled me out of my potential reading slump with not 1, not 2, but 3 books that hit the 5-star criteria in 1 month. Now for me, books that get rated 3 stars are good. 2 stars it was 1 star is I didn't like it. A DNF is, well, a DNF. But 4 stars is, I loved the book. I loved the thing. There was just some, few bits that really didn't get me over the edge. 5 stars means it really, not only did I enjoy reading it, but it actually made me feel some type of way. Like, either in love, or it made me cry, which one of them did. Twice, I might add. Which is why it is my favourite book of the year so far. And honestly, I could just keep gushing about that book. I haven't recorded the video review of that yet because I loved it so much. I'm finding it hard to put what I felt into words. It's easier when I'm angry with a book because it just flows. But when I love a book, when it really makes me feel things, I can't articulate it. So the things that I'm going to talk about in this video is going to be quite long because it's going to wrap up and then it's going to be of what things I've been doing and what things are coming in May. What's the point of doing 2 separate videos? But quick wrap up of February, quick wrap up of March. It's not going to take that long. A wrap up of April, what I did in April because I achieved a milestone just for myself. And I ended up going to Whitby Gothic Weekend last weekend. So, and I did a bit of vlogging when nobody was around really early in the morning. I mean, I'm still an introvert. And after that, there's going to be what I'm going to be reading in May. In February, these are the ones I read. I read Queen of Deception by May Frater. And I gave it 2 stars. It was alright. I do have a full review video of this book which you can find linked down below. It's quite a fantasy romance, but it tries so hard to be everything and ends up just a mishmash-moosh of just random bits. So yeah, it got 2 stars for me. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would, so I won't be continuing with that series. There's going to be a few 2 stars on here because I'm going to try and do them in order. So the next 2 star for me was The Conqueror's Queen by Joanna Courtney, and that details the life of Matilda of Normandy, better known as King William I of England's Queen. And it details her life before, on the preparations of William coming to England and what happened before, the deal with Edward the Confessor, or alleged deal with Edward the Confessor, and the details of the preparation to invade England and claim the throne that he believed was his right. Which is all very good. Historical context is taken with a grain of salt. Matilda in history, or Mathilda, however you want to say her name, is a very strong historical figure. In this, she was, I mean, it's a romance. It's not like historical fiction, it's a romance, so she was weakened down because of these stronger, mean men. And it just didn't for me. So next up we had a little arc called Revived by Barbara Avon, and it was about maybe 150 pages. It wasn't that long. It was alright, more of a psychological horror thriller thing. it was alright. It just wasn't for me. So that was another 2-star read. Like I said, February is quite negative. Then I made a mistake, which my bestie still giggles about. I saw Pretty Book advertised on the Page and Wick website, and I saw Pretty Book, dark fantasy. Yeah, I bought it. It came. Yeah, it was dark fantasy romance, which is not at all what I was prepared for, which is Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue. And I do have a video that is age restricted. I think I age restricted it because of what I talk about in it. Or I unage restricted. I can't remember what I did with it. Anyway, it's linked down below. I went in thinking it was a fantasy. The only fantasy was in my head for what this was, because you're a couple of pages in and there's, things everywhere. And there are, like, so it's just not for me. The other book I read in January was Watermoon. And this was the Illumicrate book for January, which means I have actually read a book that came in one of the book boxes this year. Go me. But yeah, this got 3.5 stars because it was fun, it was cozy fantasy, and the only downside to what was in this is I wanted to explore the world a bit more, and there was a intimate scene that just came out of nowhere, was just there and then gone. I think to try to raise the age of the book up, but it really didn't need to be there. It came out of nowhere, it had no bearing on the plot whatsoever. But yeah, it was a fun, very nice, very good read. I liked it. I liked spending time with this. And another of the book box books I actually got round to reading was Godkiller by Hannah Kaner. This is the first in the Fallen Gods trilogy, and I went to a book signing for the last and third book in the trilogy. So I thought I might as well start reading the trilogy that I'm going to a book signing for. My plan was to read this one in February, Sunbringer in March, and then read the third and final one, Faithbreaker. I haven't got round to the second one yet because I hit my reading slump. But I gave this 4 stars because it is very good fantasy. I enjoyed being in this world, and I need to get to the second book. I really do. And that was it for February. So you can see that the books that out of the 6 books I read in February, 4 of them were 2 stars, 1 was 3.5, and 1 was 4. So yeah, I was on a bit of a downer. I was hoping March would pull me out of it, and it didn't, which we're going to get to now. So in February, I started reading another of the book box books, which is Living Legend by Ali Shante, and this came in January's The Butterfly Book Club box. But as you can see, this thing is thick. It's big. What did it come in at? It came at 538 pages. And after having 4 2-star reads, I started this, and because this gets repetitive, at least in the first half, I kept putting it down. It took me 2 weeks to finish this thing in March. So February into March, I was trying to slog through this. I did end up giving it 4 stars because it did get better by the end. And I do have a full review video of this coming. But I was just hitting a slump, and I tried to read some other books while I was trying to read this one, because usually I can do that, but I just kept thinking, I've got to finish it, I've got to finish it, I've got to finish it, and I made myself finish it. And by the sort of last third of it, I was enjoying myself, but the way to get there, it took so long. I did read 2 other books in March because that was taking so long. I tried to pull myself out of it. I read The Lords of the North, which is by Bernard Cornwell, and that is part of the Last Kingdom series. Which, yeah, it is quite interesting, because in this one we spend more time up north with the Danes and the Vikings, and it's a lot more fun, it's a lot more free, and it's a hell of a lot more interesting. So that one got 4 stars. And then I read an arc called Monster of the Dagger Mountains by Meredith Hart. And I do have a full review video of this linked down below if you haven't watched it already. I think this one got 3.5 stars. It was alright, it was an alright read. I just didn't like the characters. I didn't like any of the characters. They made stupid decisions and it irked me. So going into April, which is what you're all here for, I had a much better reading month in April and I read 9 books. Now I was doing arcs in April, so I signed up for quite a few arc reads and I wanted to get them done. So in order to motivate myself and try to pull myself out of this slump, I read the arc reads that are all due at the first part of this year. Here is where my 5 stars comes in. I had a fantastic month, wonderful month with books, but we're going to start at the lower end with a 1-star read, which is The Vampire and the Scorpion by K.E. Beale. Now this was an arc read and I finished it because it was less than 200 pages. If it had been any longer, I probably would have DNF'd it. It's on my channel if you want to go and have a look, because we do take the rough with the smooth with these books, and we don't just make videos on books that are like 3 stars and above. But it was alright. The only thing it did right was portray vampires as the monsters that they are, and not some glittery things skipping through a meadow. The rest of it, you weren't with the characters long enough. They were very one-dimensional. You could see the ending coming a mile off. The only thing that I did like was the end, because it is very violent, it is very gory, but the characters had way too much plot armour. All the characters we met had way too much plot armour, and authors shouldn't be scared of just killing off characters. He isn't. He does it multiple times. And then we get into the 2 stars. Now, because of I've started reading, trying to get through a series, which is the Last Kingdom series, and I did Lords of the North in March, so I wanted to continue that, and so I read Sword Song, The Burning Land and Death of Kings this in April. Unfortunately, Sword Song got 4 stars, The Burning Land got 3, and Death of Kings got 2. And that series is such a slog. The books are very repetitive of what's gone before. It's just such a tedious slog. Uhtred is a boring character. I mean, I know I'm going to annoy a whole fan base, but the other characters around him are so much more interesting. And for all his talk of wanting to get his ancestral home back, we are now, 6 books in and he hasn't got even close. So I'm going to finish for where I got up to, because I bought The Pagan Lord before I knew it was slap bang in the middle of a series, and read it before I realised it was slap bang in the middle of a series. So I want to get up to that book and reread it, but I really don't think I'm going to continue because it's boring. It really is boring. The same thing happens in every book. The previous book, Uhtred, is on good terms with Alfred or whoever's king, and is victorious, and then the next book something happens that annoys him, puts him at odds with the religion and church and Alfred, and then it all kicks off with the Danes again. They make peace or they make a plan, and Alfred pulls strings behind the scenes, and Uhtred has to get him out of whatever scrape he's gotten himself into, or what his nephew's got himself into, and saves his daughter. Which is why things like Death of Kings and The Burning Land got 2 stars, because the relationship between Uhtred and Athelflaed is just ridiculous. He's known her since she was a child. He's protected her since she was a child. It's just disgusting. And it's not like they fall in love. They're just there. All at once, it's just there in your face, and it's like, well, no, no. She's in a very interesting historical character, and you manage to dumb her down to be Uhtred's bit on the side. I'm sorry, but no. No, 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 no. And so yeah, I think I'm done with that series after I've caught up to where I was, because it's just damn tedious, and I find myself going down in stars the more books of it I read. So it didn't impress me at all. And we are sticking with the 2 stars because another 2-star book, which was an ARC read, was Choking on the Deadlight by R.D. Nightshade. I do have a review video of this. Too many things annoyed me with this book. Again, it's under 200 pages, or I would have DNF'd it. I think I hate finished it because there was just so many discrepancies. It needed an editor, and I know indie authors can't afford editors. They have to do it themselves, and sometimes they just can't see past their own writing. But there were so many discrepancies, like there'd be in a conversation, like 2 characters would be in a conversation in a particular location, and then that location would change 3 times while they themselves haven't moved or disrupted the flow of conversation, but they'd end up somewhere else. And there was just a lot of things that just didn't make sense. The characters were stupid. Yeah, it just didn't for me. So it got 2 stars. Now, this is the video for annoying fandoms. Now, I have annoyed the Last Kingdom fandom, and now I am going to annoy the Bridgerton fandom. Because I have been reading the Bridgerton series. The first 3 books I do have review videos on, and a review video of this one. The 4th book in the series, Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, will be coming because this got 2 stars again. Because what the hell is this? How did they pull that TV series out of this tripe? I'm going to get animated because I haven't recorded the video for this yet. But this is the story of Colin Bridgerton and Penelope Featherington. Now, there's going to be a spoiler. Penelope Featherington is Lady Whistledown. We all know it. What happens in this book is nothing short of character assassination, because we've already met Colin Bridgerton and Penelope Featherington in the previous 3 books, because Colin is the 3rd brother. We've already had his younger sister Daphne's book, which was book 1. Then we had Anthony's book, book 2, and then we had Benedict's book, book 3. And so we already know Colin. The Colin in those 3 books is nothing like the Colin in this book. It is for the first quarter, but when it's like when Julia Quinn has a main male lead who actually acknowledges that they have feelings for a woman. It's like they lose all grasp of reality. Like a coin's flipped, and it's like she doesn't know how to write a nice male lead, but they've got to be angry all the time, and they've got to have sex, and they can't be nice people. Because Colin in the first 3 books is quite, he's a bit of a Labrador. In this book, he's a piece of trash, and Penelope could do better. But I will save that for the main review. This got 2 stars, and you can see by the way I get animated, for good reason. Now from 2 stars, there are no 3s, apart from the ones I've already spoken about. And we're going to jump to the 3 5-star books. Because yes, there were 3 5-star books, and 2 of them were ARC reads. So, to get me out of my reading slump, I picked an author whose books I have read before, and luckily I was accepted on her ARC team for her new book, which was The Bone-Drenched Woods by L.V. Russell. And this was the first ARC I read of the month, and it pulled me out of my reading slump because it got 5 stars. I do have a review of this on my channel already, but this is pure gothic horror. This is cannibals, creatures stalking the woods. You don't go out after dark. There's spirits. There's like a cult-like religion. There's human sacrifice. Beautiful. Enough to pull me out of a reading slump. It's just over 200 pages of pure beautifulness in the darkest way. And this cover is fire. Now, my next ARC read was The Violin by Odella Howe, and I am holding this because I did go out to Waterstones and buy this after I read the ARC because it gets 5 stars. I usually go out and buy it. But this again is a gothic horror. Not dealing with as many like cults, but this is dealing with grief and loss. Think of sort of the Victorian gothic horror. Our main character, Elise, her fiancé has died young, and she will do anything to get him back, including making a violin and doing a deal, which has a high cost and low reward, if it has a reward at all. This got 5 stars. It is an amazing, amazing book. It's a debut novel. And it is, how many pages does it come in at? Just under 300. I do have a review video of this as well because I just loved it. I loved it enough that I went to go buy it. And you can find this on Waterstones' website. Now, the last book I gave 5 stars to is a very high contender for my favourite book of the year because there wasn't one thing I disliked about it. And that is This Monster of Mine by Shalini Abisakara. I probably butchered it, but this came in April's Fairy Loot box, and I read it in April because the blurb got me hook, line and sinker, and I read this in a day because I couldn't put it down. It's just over 400 pages. The cover is gorgeous, the story is fantastic, and the characters are amazing. Both the female lead and the male lead is just everything. If I was able to write a list of what my ideal book would look like and what the characters would be like, it would be this book. There is a full review video of this coming when I can articulate better how I feel about this, because giving it 5 stars and saying that I loved it somehow doesn't seem enough to get how much I felt about this book out. It made me feel things. It made me feel lots of things. I wish I could wipe my mind of it so that I could read it all over again for the first time, which is what I really want. I don't even know if it's going to be part of a series because it's a debut novel. I can't believe it's a debut novel. Some authors that have been writing for years cannot come up with something this fantastic. And I am gushing, so I will cut it off there because this is not a review video. This is a wrap-up. But this, amazing, amazing book. And that is my wrap-up of books that I have read so far. Did I buy anything in April? Well, I bought The Violin from Waterstones, and to get free shipping, I bought Weep, Woman, Weep by Maria Di Blasi. I probably butchered it. Little novella, to get free shipping. It's based on La Llorona in Mexico folklore, and I just thought it had an interesting premise and I liked the cover, and it's only a little one. It's just over 100 pages, so it's not going to take me that much to read. But yeah, that is all I bought in April, so I was quite proud of myself. I was too busy reading to buy anything, which is probably what I should do going forward. That might actually help me. I might have unlocked something. I feel like I've unlocked a cheat. But some other things that I did in April. I did something that I have been wanting to do for over a year and haven't quite built up the confidence to do it. I watch a lot of YouTube. I do support my friends on their live streams on Twitch and on YouTube. In April, I did my very first live stream here on YouTube. I only planned to go live for about 30 minutes tops, you know, hit the button, make sure everything works, see if anybody wants to join in. So I didn't promote it in case it all went wrong and the microphone didn't work and the camera wouldn't work and it all looked wrong. So I didn't promote it in case, well, to save my embarrassment. It went live, and some people must have their notifications for my channel on, you know, that little ringy-ding bell, to notify people of what I'm doing or when I upload a video. It also notifies them of when I go live. So I found people coming in to my channel, so I put it in not quite a few, I think I'm in a handful of Discord servers, and I put it in the one that is most frequented by like the bookish people I sort of talk to a lot. And they came in and it ended up being a 2-hour live stream, which if you'd have told me at the beginning I would be there for 2 hours, I would have laughed at you and probably not even pushed the button. But it was fun. I didn't have a plan, which I will do for the next one. It was just talking, just having fun in the chat. My mind got opened and I think I have been signed up for Smut September, which if you have watched my channel, I don't read dark romance. I don't mind it, you know, a few sex scenes in a book, but the whole dark romance thing, it doesn't really do it for me. But I think I've signed up for Smut in September with Noah at the Bookworm and Ven at Ven's Corner. But this isn't going to be like dark romance smut. This is going to be what I call stupid smut, which is things like I'm going to put some sort of the things up here, like think Chuck Tingle books. So like there's sentient things that shouldn't be sentient that are used or have feelings. I think there's the one that I think we mainly talked about, the one that I can remember, is there's a sentient door and she ends up falling in love with the door, and then miraculously they have all these things with the door handle. And, you know, it's the front door, so he sees all these men coming and going, and I'm saying it's a he, but it's a door. And it's just stupid smut. Like, it'll make me laugh more than make me cringe. I mean, it'll make me cringe, but it won't make me think, ugh. It'll just go, ugh, the fuck? So I am quite looking forward to that. It's going to be quite fun. And then we just went down a rabbit hole of smut. Silly smut titles. And there are so many. Come September, without being ironic, it's going to be a bit smutty. So I am planning another live for the month of May. We'll get to that because it's part of what I'm going to be reading in May. Now, another thing that I did in April was I live in Yorkshire, and there is a town on the Yorkshire coast where it is widely believed that was the inspiration for one of the scenes from Dracula by Bram Stoker. And that is the beautiful coastal town of Whitby. They have a Gothic festival at the end of April and at the end of October. Now, I wasn't planning to go. It's over a 3-day weekend, so the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I only decided on Saturday lunchtime that we were going to go, so we went on the Sunday. That was me, my mother and my brother. We'll go to Whitby Gothic Festival, get all dressed up, and we got there early because parking can be an absolute nightmare if you go any later. So we got there early, and we usually walk through the town because we park up near the pavilion and walk through the town. So I'm going to put up some pictures that I took. So we usually park at the pavilion at the leisure centre, walk down to where the whalebone arch is, and at that time, early in the morning, there was hardly anybody about. I mean, there were a few people, but most people were still in their coffins asleep. Go down the steps to like where the pier is, go through the town and over the bridge and up to the 199 steps to Whitby Abbey. So I did a little vlog going up the steps, which I'll insert right now. Up the 99 steps all the way down there. And there's nobody about. On and on it goes. Nothing to show that you're so unfit. Nearly there. And made it! Huzzah! So yeah, I was pretty pooped by the end of that, and luckily for me there was absolutely nobody about, so I managed to get a few pictures of just me and nobody behind me on the stairs, which is impossible an hour later. But we went up to the Abbey. The Abbey doesn't open until 10 o'clock, but there is a beautiful cafe behind the museum. It's the youth hostel cafe at the back. Beautiful food, and it is just lovely. So we go in there, have breakfast because it's early, have a nice cup of tea, go in the Abbey, gorgeous, hardly anybody about. Managed to get a load of shots, which I'll insert here. It was fun, it was lovely and warm. I was playing with my new selfie stick because I hadn't had one, and that's my new thing, and it also doubles up as a tripod, so I was having fun playing with that. I always think that I look a right dick filming in public, but really I don't think anybody's really bothered, and considering how many people were doing the same thing, I don't think really anybody took any notice. It's just me, but I want to get used to recording myself in public because I want to do a little bit more vlogging because it's fun. So yeah, after the Abbey, go down through the town, get to look in all the shops. Lovely jet shops. Oh, the jet jewellery. Gorgeous. So out of my price range, but it's nice to look at the nice shiny things in the windows. Through the town, cross the bridge. So many people were dressed up, so much gorgeous clothing. I was so jealous because they all looked better than I did, and it was just gorgeous, gorgeous, just dresses, just big dresses, dresses that I love, and dresses. So yeah, we went through the town, we went and got lunch. Because we go for lunch at about 11:30, because if you wait till 12 o'clock, you have to queue outside them. We like going to, I think it's Terry's is what the thing's called. Lovely in there, absolutely gorgeous. Wandered down the pier, we had ice cream, which was really, really nice. It's nice to have ice cream at the Yorkshire seaside because it rarely happens that it isn't cold at the Yorkshire seaside. So yeah, we went and sat on the pier and then wandered back up the steps to where the whalebone arch is. Absolutely packed with people. So I'm glad we got our pictures early because there were so many people. And then we went back to the leisure centre and there was so many things to look at that your wonderful, wonderful content creator here forgot to record. And because I was that busy looking at things and wanting to buy things that I forgot to record things. So yeah, I'm wonderful at that. But I did buy a few things, which I'm going to show you now. You'll have to excuse it, I've been drinking coffee out of it this morning. I bought this wonderful, wonderful cup. You can get a decent cuppa in that. I did buy a hat. Kind of. Now, this hat I did get from Whitby Gothic Weekend. This is from Gothic Hats. I'll link her Instagram down below if you want to go check it out, but she makes this. I'm going to take it off and my hairs are going to be all stuck up and sweaty. Ugh. But yeah, this is my top hat for a nice little close-up. This is what it looks like, which I don't think most videos really do it justice. Especially on my older phone. So yeah, this is what my hat looks like. It is beautiful and I love it, love it, love it so much. I didn't want another top hat, but there were so many that are absolutely gorgeous. If you like this hat, if you like the way it looks, even if you don't want to wear it like every... Do you know I don't wear this every day? I don't even wear it every video because it's too hot. But go check out her page. But I did buy something from her stall, which is... I bought myself a brand new purse, which is this on here. So pretty. And you use the wing to open this. I'm not going to open it out completely so you don't see what's in there. But yeah, the wing is the magnet, and it is so roomy. And I did buy jewellery, which I'm wearing. So I did buy these little earrings, this choker, because I do love a nice choker, and it feels quite heavy and quite nice. And I can't remember what stall it was from. It was from, as you walk in to the main room of the bazaar, because that's what it's called. It's the main like table as you go in. And this, which is not really doing this justice, because it's not, it's a wraparound, which is on here. I have a nice little snake. It's very heavy. Now I did buy a hat because in summer, which I found last year when I was recording, my hair, it gets very, very hot. I get very, very hot recording. Not just 'cause, even when I've got a t-shirt on, the hat, I get very hot. So I wanted something that, I wanted a little hat, but there wasn't a little hat. But I did see something else, and I bought it because it's beautiful and it's pretty. And it is this. Lovely, lovely, oh so pretty. Gonna be cool in summer when I record videos while wearing this. So it is a headband, and it does have a slide at the back so you can clip it in your hair. But I do love the beaded on here, and it's from Burlesque, so you can see on there. I've had a look on Instagram and I can't find them anywhere to tag them in anything. But this, it's all handmade, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It's got blue velvet, and this is the back, so it's got your blue velvet, it's got roses, it's got feathers, beautiful feathers, and I love this beaded spider, and they had so many of them. I would just buy them all. It's just, oh, it's my first time seeing myself wearing this, so you can have it down like this. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. But yeah, so in summer I will be wearing this instead of this. So yeah, Whitby Gothic Weekend, 100% we'll be doing again, down in October. Now we're on to, what am I going to read in May? Because I do have a list of books to read in May. Fingers crossed. Now I am aiming to read Blood of Hercules by Jasmine Mass, simply because I've ended up with 2 copies, one being the Fairy Loot and one being the Page and Whip copy. And there's no point me having 2 copies if I'm not going to like the book. So I am just about to start. I've gone to get my book because I did write them all down, the ones that I want to read. Now I said that I was going to be doing another live stream, and that will be in mid-May. And that is when I am going to start my A Court of Thorns and Roses read-along. So my reactions to that book will be in real time, live. And we're going to be doing some reading sprints, and it's going to be such fun. So yeah, that is one that I am planning to read. Also planning to read Sunbringer by Hannah Kaner. It's the 2nd book in the trilogy. I read Godkiller. I want to get this trilogy finished because Faithbreak is out. So May is going to be, I'm either starting a series or I am looking to continue and hopefully almost finish the ones that I'm already in. So I want to read A Cursed Heart by Jenny Hickman, which is the 3rd book in the Myths of Arran series. And I want to continue with the Grease trilogy by Claire, the Last Song of Penelope trilogy by Claire North. I gave Ithaca 5 stars, so the House of Odysseus, which is the next one, should be up there as well. I do want to continue with my reread of Night Shift by Stephen King, and I do have a couple of arcs to read as well, or at least get started on, because one of the arcs is called The Sleepy Hollow Incident by P.D. Alevera. I've been talking for over an hour, my mind's starting to go, but he was the author of Jiggly Spot and the Zero Intellect, which is full-on horror, cannibal horror, with cannibal clowns and everything. And I do have a review video of that one, but this is his next book out, and this is an installment is getting released every month up until October or November when the book comes out. So I have 3 installments to read, and I haven't started one yet. So I plan to start it this month and carry on my good month. Another couple of arcs I want to read is Fire Within by, I keep looking down at this thing, is Fire Within by Morton Simonson. Now, I found this on TikTok. It came up on my For You page and it sounded really interesting to me, so I want to read it. And another one that came up was Chapel of the Falcon and Other Stories by Matt Spencer, which is a lot of different. I think I found this on Book Sirens. I can't remember, but it sounded interesting and I want to get that started as well. So May is looking to be a full month. I've actually got plans. I know, go me. It's going to be such fun, and there is going to be a few videos coming out which aren't reviews. So there's an how to get started arc reading and our special editions actually special videos coming out this month. So yeah, that is it. That was my first quarter wrap up, shall we say, what's coming in May and what I did when out and about and gallivanting. If you enjoyed this video, if you're liking your time on this channel, please don't forget to subscribe so you get notified when I finally go live again. And as always, keep reading.
Castles glimmer on the hill, echoes of a life fulfilled. With the dawn, new hope is born. In this heart no longer torn. Sip the wine, embrace the night. Dark stars journey shining bright. Through the trials, through the pain, love and light shall still remain.